It's just resting and stress. So you open one, then you go back and open the other.
GSP.
This one here.
500.
And 501.
Open both.
501.
So you see here it says 500, stress, rest.
Fine.
You see? Everybody ready?
Mm-hmm.
Then go to protocol, go to cardiac spect. Tell me when. Ready? Okay, so just like before, you're going to hit calculate. Make sure that both are checked. And like before, you'll see, you'll get the end part before you get the beginning. You know how last time it shows up the end part. So this is the end. You're going to go to motion. You see where it says motion at the top? So we're not going to do anything. Usually I would, in the old days, we would let you process it, but people messed it up so bad that you end up failing because I give you one problem and then you put like 5 or 6 in there trying to correct my one. Okay, so we go to region of interest. Sorry. ROIs. On the other ones, it's going to be a box. Over here, it's a circle. So, bring it up over here. Anyway, so here if you want, just like before, you have to take the circle out to make it bigger. But then you take the center to make sure it's centered around. Just like before. Before you start processing, which I should have done, when you click on here at the top, then you can increase your intensity so you can see it. Oh. Never mind. We're okay.
I could sign it.
But that's just a box over there. When you start working on it, it's going to be a box. And so here, again, you can make it bigger if you need to, because you don't want to cut off any portions. Make sure you're nice and tight under the inferior wall so that you can cut out any of the gastric stuff. Oh, stop. It doesn't want to play right. Right click. So here, we go there, and then again, you're going to increase your intensity. This one here is really close to the gut. You see it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when you come back here, you're going to have to cut it enough where you, like the inferior wall, but you make sure that you get the entire wall and don't cut it off at the bottom. Because see what, I'm going to show you what happens. If you cut it off in the wrong part, you will go to your filter and you'll notice that, let me do it a little bit more. Cut it off. You see how it cuts off? And you see at the end that it's, so you need to make sure that you center it properly, that you get the entire thing in there. But not too much where you're going to get a lot of the gut. That's where you need to extend it a little bit. I get this to you. I got you. I like square better than. Okay. Did I get lost? Now here, this is where your filters are. It should be Butterworth, but there's other ones here that you can play with and look at. And also when we mess up everything so you can fix it, make sure, you can put it on one of these to kind of stump your classmate. But remember, when you process it, it should be on Butterworth. Your frequency should be 0.15 to 0.17. 0.15 to 0.7. Now here, if you drag it to the right, remember he told you about making it grainy? Remember when he was talking about adjusting the frequency? Or if you move it to the left, it makes it smoother. You see?
What was the range you gave us?
0.15 to 0.17. Come back. That's your normal area. So same here. If you drag it, you see you can make it grainy or make it smoother, where the person looks normal. So you like, what? I'm gonna mess you up. You talking back to me, sir? He has problems. No, just kidding. No, don't do that. No, that's not what you do. So it should be between 0.15 and 0.17, okay? If you change the ramp sometime, if you change the filter, so make sure it's gonna work for this one. Okay. Now, instead of hitting auto orient, I want you to go to manual orient from here. If I see you hit auto when we're processing, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it. You're gonna lose 5 points. Manual. Okay? Everybody with me? Because auto orient fixes everything for you. And so when we messing it up and doing things for you, then you just hit auto and and you fix it, and I'm like, start over. Okay. So we're gonna do motion just to bring it up. You're gonna fix your ROIs. You're gonna check on your filters and your frequency, and you're gonna go to manual orient. And so what happens here is, you know how usually you take these and place it on the outside? Okay, here you go in the middle of the wall. Of course, it's backwards, right? So you take it and slide it down to the middle. Same with this one, the green goes into the middle. Here. So you put it in the middle of the wall. And then here, you place it in the middle of the wall. And then here, you know how, let's say, this is kind of like your imaginary circle. You kind of center it like where the circle would have been. So here, and so you put this bottom red one the same way, kind of like. Okay, these double lines should be in the center. Same as here. They're in the center. Okay. Everybody understand?
How was it before?
In the
I'm sorry,
hospital,
I'm just
it's
trying to see what
in the
the
hospital.
difference is.
Well, no, I just showed you what to do. But I'm saying in the hospital, these go on the outside, right?
Yeah.
Right. But here, this is a different program. It goes in the center of the wall.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if you want to adjust your angle, you can just place this little arrow in the corner and turn either way with your cursor. You see? See how both of them are moving?
One more time.
It's right here in the corner. Everybody see where I place it? And then you're going to turn. You can turn left or right. Now, if you only want to adjust one, like one is off, hold down control, and you can only turn one. Okay? Now, your problem comes out there when you're processing, because sometimes the apex is gone. So on your resting image, everything might be fine, but when you go to process the stress, the apex might be gone, septum wall part. You see that? So make sure you're thinking like, what is what am I looking at? And you're trying to fix this one little piece. So you're trying to make sure that your angle stays the same. Match it to that rest, the piece that you're looking at, that little piece. And then when you get down to your slices, you can adjust them. So here, you can adjust it going up, going back, or you can adjust the whole thing at one time, up or back. Okay? Again, that's one at a time, or you can do the whole thing. And they move both slices that's, together. Remember, they have to match, so if you start here, so they have just a little bit shorter than here, so you're matching it, and then you can take it back, forward, 1, 2, and then here, remember we had this, the C, the backward C, it's open in the center, and then the sides go smaller, right? So then you have this area here, so I would probably say, let's see if we can match that one. This way. Yeah. Okay, so you have your opens in the middle, and then here they're closing, and then all the way close, one close, see? And then here, you want to make sure the angles are matched, and the same thing. Your open ends are in the center, and then on both sides they're closing. Starting to close, right?
Yes.
And so here, if the slice, if it's off, you see how the angles don't match? You see? So you got to make sure that your angles match. See, the apex here is a little bit off, right? So then you have to make sure when you're processing that you make sure your angles are in the same. Oops, what did I do? I messed up big time. Okay? Everybody's with me?
Yes.
Okay. Now, so when you start processing, you bring them up and you do all this. Then you do that. Play with that a little bit. When you get here, you step away. What the heck? It didn't. It is still processing. You step away and you let your person mess it up. So you turn around and then they're going to go back and adjust the regions of interest, take them out, change the filters on you, change the frequency. They might alter some of the angles, but when you show them, you bring it back here. So if I want to mess this up a little bit, I mess this up a little bit over here, and then here, something, and I mess this up a little bit, or something, and then when I go here, sorry, I didn't mean to hit that. So when they see these last slices, they go, what in the world? So their first step is to go back to the region of interest, say, ah, okay, this is off, and they fix that, you know, just this line here. They go, ah, this is off, and then they fixed all this back. And then they come here and look, and it's like something. Okay, now it's right. Then they can process. Okay. Everybody with me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then we close it.